Wait, what's that?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you missed in Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 10.
Let's get our miracle on.
Speaking of miracle,
For this list, we're looking at some of the more subtle and not-so-subtle callbacks and references found in Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 10. If you haven't had the chance to portal into this episode, be ready for spoilers. Would you like a lightsaber this holiday season? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. All about lightsabers. Rick goes all out this Christmas and gets Morty a lightsaber.
Does it make the noises? Of course it makes the noises. That's like half the fun. Awesome!
The iconic weapon was first introduced in Star Wars by Obi-Wan when presenting one to Luke Skywalker. He describes it as an elegant weapon from a more civilized age.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight. Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
Perhaps Obi-Wan didn't consider the clumsiness of its wielder and what would happen if it fell perfectly vertical. Both Morty and President Curtis have butterfingers when playing around with it. The President goes a little lightsaber crazy, with his droids having lightsabers for hands and eyes.
A robot with lightsabers for eyes. God damn it, it can't see.
The lesson here is that while having a lightsaber in reality seems cool, it's probably best to leave it in the realm of fiction. Number 9. Toxic Star Wars Fandom. In an episode dedicated to many references to the Star Wars franchise, it may be easy to overlook this little jab to a certain segment of the fandom.
Disney ruined it. You think I want 30 low-run TV series with bad CGI? They film everything on that one big green screen.
When President Curtis first shows up, he seems more concerned about preventing the Earth from blowing up, going so far as to say Morty is a loser for even wanting a lightsaber in the first place.
Let's get your embarrassing-ass lightsaber back so you can swing it around instead of kissing girls.
When they finally retrieve it, the president does a complete 180. It turns out he loves Star Wars, so much in fact that he says it raised him and taught him good from evil, among other things. His views echo some of the more toxic elements of fans who have expressed displeasure with the direction the franchise has taken.
And when that third movie got all muppety, something in me began to rot. But make no mistake, child, I own Star Wars, not you.
Number 8. T-shirt Rick. While Morty is swinging his new gifted lightsaber around, Rick suggests Morty strike him down so he becomes a pile of clothes.
Strike me down.
What?
Strike me down.
I'm not striking you down.
Strike me down, Morty. I'll become a pile of clothes like that old guy.
This is what happens to Obi-Wan in Star Wars during his confrontation with Darth Vader aboard the Death Star. When Rick does get hit by the lightsaber, all that remains are his clothes. Morty becomes momentarily worried and asks if Rick is T-shirt Rick.
Rick, you can come out now. I'm serious. Did you, become your clothes? Are you T-shirt Rick now?
His apprehension comes from when Rick previously turned himself into an object, most notably a pickle.
Flip the pickle, Morty. You're not gonna regret it. The payoff is huge. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle. What do you think about that?
While it would be interesting to see what kind of hijinks Rick would find himself in as a T-shirt, this time it was just a simple disappearing trick. Calling pop culture superfans everywhere. Do you love to argue with WatchMojo's top 10 ranks? Introducing WatchMojo's first and very own party game. Bring your superpowers to the table and fight for your pick to be at the top of the list. It's all the fun of the comment section, but in real life. Number 7. The First Noel. After it's been revealed that Rickbot is in fact a robot, he becomes increasingly guilty about how he's been deceiving Morty and the rest of the family.
I've always been afraid to let my guard down and just have stupid family fun like this, but Grandpa Rick is making me learn to be vulnerable.
Me too.
Once Morty calls him out in front of the family, they turn on him in an instant. It's perhaps a bit of an overreaction from the Smith family, but it is very welcomed by Rickbot, as he wishes to no longer be alive.
Finally.
The first Noel, the angels did say.
During that sequence, the Christmas carol The First Noel begins to play. The song is a traditional English carol of Cornish origin. The song repeats when Rickbot and Morty are in the spacebound White House.
Oh God, they're sliding, Morty! They're sliding! They're sliding!
Number 6. Miracles on Many Streets. When receiving their present from Rick Sanchez, Jerry gets an alternate dimension version of the classic Christmas film Miracle on 34th Street.
For Jerry, an extra-dimensional version of Miracle on 34th Street.
2 hours longer? They fixed my only problem with it.
The film deals with whether or not Santa Claus is real when a man named Kris Kringle shows up claiming to be the real deal from the North Pole. The film clocks in at just over an hour and a half in runtime, but the version Jerry gets is 2 hours longer. When the family sits down to watch it, the additional footage consists of John Payne's character proclaiming miracles are happening on various New York City streets.
What's a miracle? Oh, we got miracles on 37th Street, 38th, and don't even get me started on the avenues.
Can't believe they cut this.
We don't know how far they get into it, but even Jerry reaches his limit with the amount of miracles.
There's another miracle at the end of the intersection of 401st Boulevard and 7000th Street. That's a miracle per block so far.
Okay, even I am nearing my limit.
Number 5. Rickbot. Remember when Rick was going to be 22% more agreeable to Morty?
I needed to hear it, and you took the stupid sword, and I was like, holy crap, this is who I am to this kid? He just does the opposite of my advice now? I mean, I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna be like 22% more agreeable with you.
It didn't seem likely to be the case, and we, as well as Morty, were waiting for the other shoe to drop. He even straight up asks if Rick is a robot.
Are you a robot?
Turns out it was a robot this whole time.
I replaced myself towards the beginning of that whole Knights of the Sun thing.
It seems Rick was bitter and resentful when Morty ignored his advice and took the sword from the Knights of the Sun. He saw it as a betrayal and decided to swap out with a robot that was nicer to Morty. To be fair, Rick did say it would only be for one episode.
I'm gonna be like 22% more agreeable with you for like maybe one episode or one adventure. We'll see how it goes.
Number 4. Alien. When the Earth needs to be saved again from a lightsaber falling towards its core, Rick is unavailable to help. So, the Smith family turns to the next best thing, Rickbot.
Rick's gone, and I'm not sure he's ever coming back.
Then let's settle for the next best thing.
After the family attacked him, they used his robot body to decorate their Christmas tree, so they have to power him back on.
Just let me die, turn me off. Not that I can be turned off because I'm obviously not a robot.
The way he's laid out on the table when they do so may look familiar if you've seen Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien. In it, Science Officer Ash is revealed to be an android. During a fight between Ash and the rest of the crew, Ash's head comes off. Here, it's revealed that his role on the ship was to ensure the alien creature's survival.
How do we kill it, Ash? There's gotta be a way of killing it. How? How do we do it?
You can't. It's bullshit. You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you?
It's a neat little shout out to the sci-fi classic. Number 3. Vertisaber. It turns out the lightsaber from Rickbot isn't the only one in town, as Rick reveals he also has one, but his is AI-powered with a gyroscope and a rocket.
What is that?
A second lightsaber with an AI-controlled gyroscopic rocket in the hilt.
You had a lightsaber?
For those keeping score at home, this is the second week that Rick has an AI power sword-like device. In the previous episode, he gives Morty an AI power sword to defeat the King of the Sun.
Here, the sword uses AI to learn from an opponent's attacks.
So I have to get attacked first?
No. The sword has already seen Blade and loved it. You'll be fine.
Interestingly, when the president is briefing a group of scientists on the lightsaber falling towards the Earth's core, on one of the screens there's actually a schematic of the Vertisaber in the background. Rick's line for the saber to stay on target is similar to what a Y-Wing pilot says during the Death Star trench run.
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target.
Number 2. Rick Prime. The Rick responsible for Rick C-137 losing his family makes a comeback of sorts. We haven't heard of Rick Prime since the end of this season's first episode.
Did you talk to me or a little kid around here?
Maybe. Why? Because if you hate them too, I could be down for a little team-up.
I really don't team up anymore.
It turns out our Rick has been busy trying to track him down since their last encounter. Rick has managed to disassemble a killbot from Rick Prime's lair. From it, he finds a USB-type device containing Rick Prime's many locations. When he finally invites Morty to help him with his search, he declares that Season 7 will be their focus, but it can all happen in the background.
It's gonna take over your life, Morty. Rick and Morty Season 7, hunting my nemesis.
We'll have to wait and see. Number 1. Mr. Poopy Butthole. It's been a whole season, and only in this post-credit scene does this poopy pants show up. The last time we saw Mr. Poopy Butthole was in the Season 5 finale, where we learned that he had split up from his wife Amy.
But I guess things went downhill from there. Started isolating myself from Amy. Used to tell her everything I was feeling. But then I guess I stopped. Because I wanted her to love who she thought I was, not who I felt myself becoming.
This time around, he spent his time toning and boning, as he puts it, trying to get over Amy and his child leaving him.
Sorry I wasn't around. Been busy getting my little poopy butt in shape. Been toning and boning.
He's been watching the episode on a stationary bike. And if you look closely, there's a Netflix-style splash screen compelling viewers to watch more Rick and Morty to fill holes in our meaningless existence. Yikes, that's bleak. Unfortunately for Mr. Poopy Butthole, things don't get better as he breaks his legs. Hopefully things pick up for him in Season 7. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.